Can I film you?
No, I don't care. And with that September storm that went through, we went down to see if there was anything wrong, and both the sheds were blown down, so we went ahead and stayed. My wife was supposed to be in surgery on the 3rd, Monday the 3rd, so we're coming back Sunday the 2nd. This girl passed 3 cars in our lane and hit us head on, and almost killed us then. But my wife spent I only spent 2 weeks in the jail, or in the hospital. My wife spent 2 months in the hospital, had 3 operations. Saturday, something weird, she's never texted her brother. She texted her brother and her sister. Sunday she had a massive stroke. And by the time I realized something was wrong with her, they told me she was already dead. She didn't have any brain function at all. And we've been together 25 years. We had one argument. The first year we had an argument, she wanted to get breast implants. And I'm like, I like them like they're at, you know. They don't need to be no bigger than that. But I wanted to do this ever since I was a little kid, and I got the money, I'm doing it, yeah. So we had a little argument about it. And all my friends go, what do you mean, you didn't argue? You didn't get mad at each other? I said, yeah, we got mad at each other, but we never yelled at each other, you know. I'd go, what are you mad about? And she'd tell me. She'd go, what are you mad about? And I'd tell her, you know. But best woman in the world. Like I said, 35 years, one argument, and they're like, why don't you act like you're mourning? It just happened a week ago. You don't act like you're mourning. And I said, what I do, as soon as I start to feel like I'm gonna cry or something, I remember something that she did that was silly, that made me laugh. I'm laying in bed watching TV, she's doing dinner, and she says, get the bed trays out, we'll go ahead and eat in the bedroom. And she goes, how would you like to be served, sir? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, would you like a dance hall girl? A cheerleader? Yeah.
That's cute.
And she came in, her sister was asking me if I had any pictures. First one that popped up was her with this long red wig on and a cheerleader outfit. And she goes, she looks so young. When was that? I said, about 2 months before our accident. She was 56. She wasn't as young as she looked. She was 56 years old. But I was 34, she was 24 when we met, and that's the way she was the whole time. Yeah. And I said, well, I was telling her, I've been in Vero 40 years, and I was nice to everybody, but I've had people that's really done bad things. And I said, I got a list. I said, if you go first, I said, I may start at the top of the list and work my way down. She goes, I'm not going first. She goes, you're gonna be the one that goes first. I'm like, you can't be sure of that. She goes, oh yeah, I can. She goes, I'm gonna kill you. She goes, and I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, when you have that massive heart attack, she goes, I'm gonna call 911 and ask them how long it takes for rigor mortis to set in. Do I have time to get up for a cigarette, or should I just sit where I'm at, you know? And I'm like, you or something else, yeah.
Well, you sing beautifully.
Yeah, I've been trying.
You really do.
She always made me nervous. And if I messed up, I'd put my guitar down.
Why don't you sing her a song now?
Well, she wants me to learn this song. It's called Too Many Angels, Jackson Brown.
Beautiful.
Really nice song. I'm gonna try to learn it because in 2 weeks I'm taking her ashes and my son's ashes to Conyers, Georgia. They got a family plot. Grandpa, they got 8. Grandpa's in 1, grandma's in 2, father's in 3. Mother was cremated, so she's at the top of the 4th one. And then they had a niece that was 5 months old that died. So she's kind of in there sideways. They said, so there's room for Daniel and Jennifer's, you know.
Your son
there.
was in the car too?
Huh?
Your son was in the car?
No. My 3 dogs were, though. We had a pit bull. I was in a Mercury Mountaineer, one of them SUVs. We had a pit bull in the cage in the back. It hit me in the back of the head. It flew through the cage and landed on it. But the girl, 20 years old, PIP insurance, the car was paid for. Somebody put up a Facebook saying she was homeless 2 weeks or 2 months before that. She was homeless. Now she's driving next year's model car that was paid off. I had 6 different lawyers. When I got to Morgan & Morgan, they said they couldn't help us. I'm like, what judge bought her that car? Yeah, there's some reason, yeah, because down here it's a no-fault state. All you got to have is PIP insurance. You don't have to have insurance for the people you run down. Yeah, I'm like, that's ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, they should make everybody, well, what it is everybody has to pay. What it is the insurance company would have to pay out more money. Yeah, so they're fine with it like that. But
it's horrible.
My son, that's why I'm up here. My son came down. I wasn't home today. They gave him the death certificate today, so he handed it to me. I'm going over to the beach for a while. Yeah. Older than her. He got hit by a car on rollerblades. He couldn't stop.
How old was he?
He was 15. And then...
And that was your first son?
Yeah. And then up here, my wife, I've got a real tall boy that's 34.
Mm-hmm.
He's here. And when this happened to my other son, he slipped in the bathtub, hit his head, knocked himself out and drowned.
Oh my God.
He was 24 years old, and he was just getting where he looked. He was a good-looking kid,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And life was just starting for him, and that it. I had been in a car accident, and they were giving me those Oxycontins. I sat on the couch for 2.5 years after that happened.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But like I said, my wife, everybody's like, you don't look like you're grieving. And I said, I'm going to be by myself one day and I'm just going to lose it totally, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but every time I start to feel like I'm going to cry, I just think of something silly she did, because she always just, you know. But like I said, we had the one argument that one time, and then after that, she didn't like to argue, so we didn't argue. Yeah. And that's what I was telling everybody. If I didn't have kids, I'd have the most stress-free life, you know.
That's true.
Or that, if I didn't have the luck I had, I'd have the most stress-free life.
The kids will definitely liven up your life. I wish I could see your face better.
I'm sorry. It's dark here.
Yeah, it is real dark. You gonna sing her a song?
I'm gonna learn that one that when I go up here and we bury her, I'm gonna play it for her. It was Christmas in prison and the food was real good. We had turkey rolls carved out of wood. I dream of her often, even when I don't dream. Her name's on my lips and her blood's in my stream. Wait a while, eternity. Old Mother Nature's got nothing on me. Oh, come to me, run to me, come to me now. We're rolling, my sweetheart, we're flowing by God. She reminds me of a chess game with someone I admire, or a picnic in the rain after a prairie fire. Her heart is as big as this whole goddamn jail. She's sweeter than saffron at a drugstore sale. Wait a while, eternity. Old Mother Nature's got nothing on me. Come to me, run to me, come to me now. We're rolling, my sweetheart, we're flowing by God. The searchlight in the big yard swings round with the gun, and spotlights and snowflake like dust in the sun. It's Christmas in prison, there'll be music tonight. I'll probably get homesick, I love you, good night. Wait a while, eternity. Old Mother Nature's got nothing on me. Run to me, come to me, run to me now. We're rolling, my sweetheart, we're flowing by God. It's a
Beautiful.
little chilly out. But yeah, I love it out here.
It is nice.
But
It's peaceful.
I've lived here 40 years. I haven't been in that ocean 40 times.
Me neither.
There's a great white shark that keeps coming this way.
Oh,
and
really?
then going all the way around into the Gulf of Mexico, and then it comes back. They got it. One of them things on it, so they know where it's at. And they're like, it's in Jacksonville right now, and then it's in Vero Beach, and then it's in Tampa. So it just keeps going back and forth.
It's tormenting everybody to death.
great white sharks are not supposed to be over here, but we're
they're killers.
We're
right?
catching lionfish now too, which are from Australia.
Oh.
And they're saying you catch those, kill them, but watch out because if you get stuck, you get poisoned. Yeah, there's so many things. The iguanas. You're allowed to kill iguanas. You go down to Stewart. There's thousands of them up under the bridge, just thousands. And when it got cold, they were telling people to watch out for falling iguanas because they'd be up in these trees. They got cold, couldn't hang out any longer. Pump, you know. That's what I said. I said that's when they should round them up when they're all getting froze and they're dropping to the ground. Throw them in a bag, you know.
Use them for bait.
But now we've got anacondas.
The African lizards.
Yeah, the ones with the red heads and orange heads and stuff. And you can't catch them; they're too fast.
No, they are fast.
And we got one. I call him Godzilla. It runs under our thing. And my wife was like, "If that thing ever gets in this house," I said, "Point your shotgun at it and go boom." Yeah.
I got a couple of them on YouTube here.
What I was going to do, since I can't catch them; they're so fast. I was going to get my cast net out. Just throw the cast net. He's caught then. Yeah.
Well, they don't hurt you.
No, but they're an invasive species.
Yeah, they are.
They're eating the other lizards, the little bitty ones.
They're eating butterflies.
Yeah, and the butterflies, yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But you sure do sing beautiful. You got a great voice.
I shouldn't have started smoking. I need to keep my mouth shut. I really need to keep my mouth shut. I told a friend of mine, it'd been 30 days, me and Jennifer, my wife, had not had a cigarette. And he goes, well, you're not going to die of cancer? I said, yeah. I said, now why? Somebody will run me over. 2 days later.
No.
2 days later, head-on collision.
No, that's horrible.
And then somebody else, and this is what that's when I say I got to keep my mouth shut. Somebody said, God's got a plan for you. I said, either that or he's not done kicking me in the ass. And that girl, my wife, got in the way. Now, my wife passed away. I'm like, I got to watch what I say. Yeah.
I wouldn't blame yourself on anything.
Make me one orange, I give you $50 for it. I'm like, there you go. Yeah. And then I made a black one that had feathers hanging off the strap that I did when I strapped this.
That one's awesome.
The two, yeah, this is my favorite hat now. But
it reminds me of those old cowboy movies.
Yeah, I made this one, then I made the orange one, then I made a gray one.
So you're a hat maker too.
And I gave that to my daughter.
You're a singer and a hat maker.
I've never made a hat in my life.
Well, you sure did make that.
I'm sitting in the bed, a harness, because my back's fractured.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sitting there, my wife's in the hospital, and I finally, after like a week and a half, I'm like, why isn't she woke up? Because I knew they were giving her heavy drugs. And they're like, she's not breathing on her own. That's when I started smoking again. I'm driving home, and I'm just I was just like this.
Oh, yeah, that'll make you smoke.
Like I said, everybody, just before we got hit, we were getting pre-approved to have a house put out on our property. We were going to live there for the rest of our life out in Okeechobee. There's no way I'm going to live in that property by myself. It's out. There's a mama bear and 2 baby bears out there. There's a big cougar. We keep seeing these big cat tracks, and then you got packs of coyotes and stuff. Mm-hmm. My son's out there right now. He's got 5 pit bulls with him. I mean, ain't no pack of coyotes coming around.
No.
But
well, if you and him can live out there.
Yeah, well, I told him,